In 1954, a milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc walked into a small hamburger stand in San Bernardino, California, and saw the future of fast food. But the man who actually turned McDonald's into a money machine wasn't Ray Kroc, and it definitely wasn't the McDonald brothers. It was a former accountant named Harry Sonneborn, and the business he designed barely has anything to do with burgers. Here's the line Sonneborn told a room of investors, a line McDonald's executives have repeated for decades. "We are not technically in the food business. We are in the real estate business." This is the story of how the world's most famous restaurant became one of the world's largest landlords, and why, once you see it, you'll never look at a Big Mac the same way again. To understand the trick, you need to see the problem McDonald's had in the mid-50s. Franchising was booming in America, but most franchise companies made their money one of two ways: selling supplies to franchisees at a markup or charging fat upfront fees. Both models had a fatal flaw. The company got rich once, then depended on franchisees behaving well forever. Kroc refused to sell supplies at a markup, and he charged shockingly small franchise fees, which left McDonald's nearly broke. In 1956, Sonneborn's solution changed everything: a new subsidiary called Franchise Realty Corporation. Instead of just licensing the brand, McDonald's would control the dirt underneath it. The company would find the location, buy or lease the land and the building, and then sublease it to the franchisee, with a markup, and with the rent tied to the restaurant's sales. Suddenly, McDonald's wasn't hoping franchisees paid royalties. It was their landlord. If you don't pay your rent, you don't just lose a franchise agreement, you lose your building. Think about what that flip really means. A royalty is a fee for a brand name, a percentage that walks out the door with every dollar of sales. Rent is different. Rent is secured by property. Rent survives bad managers, recessions, even bad burgers. And rent tied to a percentage of sales means that every time a franchisee grows, the landlord grows with them, without buying a single extra French fryer. Sonneborn's model also solved the control problem that haunts every franchise system. McDonald's is famous for enforcing standards: the clean bathrooms, the identical fries in Tokyo and Toledo. People assume that comes from the contract. Mostly it comes from the lease. A franchise agreement is hard to terminate. An eviction is not. Control the property, and you control everything that happens on it. By the 60s, the model was humming. When McDonald's went public in 1965, investors weren't buying a burger chain. They were buying a real estate company with a built-in, self-improving tenant base that also happened to sell 15-cent hamburgers. The burgers brought the customers. The customers made the location valuable. The location paid the rent. That flywheel, food creating foot traffic creating property value creating rent, is the actual product McDonald's manufactures. So how big did Sonneborn's machine get? This is where the modern numbers get genuinely hard to believe, because most people, including plenty of people who work in finance, still think McDonald's is in the burger business. Let's open the company's own annual report, the fiscal 2024 10K, and follow the money. McDonald's reported about $26 billion in total revenue. But that number hides the machine. Roughly 95% of McDonald's 40,000-plus restaurants aren't run by McDonald's at all. They're run by franchisees. And the revenue McDonald's collects from those franchised restaurants came to $15.7 billion. Now here's the reveal. Of that $15.7 billion, royalties, the fee for the brand, the golden arches, the marketing, were $5.6 billion. Rent was $10 billion. Read that again. McDonald's collects nearly twice as much in rent as it does in royalties. 64 cents of every dollar franchisees send to headquarters is a rent check. The initial franchise fees everyone thinks of as the cost of joining the club? $92 million. A rounding error, 0.5%. And the quality of that rent money is even more remarkable than the quantity. In the same report, McDonald's discloses its restaurant margins. The franchised business, collecting rent and royalties on property it controls, ran at roughly an 84% margin. The restaurant's McDonald's operates itself, where it pays for the beef, the buns, and the labor, around 15%. Selling burgers is a hard, low-margin grind. Renting to people who sell burgers is one of the highest-margin businesses on earth. That's why McDonald's has spent decades refranchising, selling company stores to operators and keeping the land. Every store it hands over trades a 15% margin business for an 84% one. So how does the rent itself work? A typical agreement stacks two payments: a base rent, often set well above what McDonald's itself pays for the property, and a percentage rent tied to the restaurant's sales. Analysts who have studied the leases estimate franchisees often pay meaningfully more than market rates because they're not really paying for square footage. They're paying for the corner. McDonald's site selection operation has spent 70 years buying the best intersections in the world, the corner where the highway meets the school run. That's an asset no competitor can copy because it's already owned. The company's balance sheet shows the scale. Over $40 billion of property and equipment at cost, and tens of billions in future minimum rent payments already contracted. Contracted as in owed to McDonald's regardless of how many Big Macs get sold next quarter. There's one more layer, and it's the one Wall Street loves most. Rent contracts make McDonald's earnings look less like a restaurant and more like a bond. In a recession, restaurant sales wobble, but base rent doesn't. In an inflation spike, menu prices rise, and percentage rent rises automatically with them. Heads, the landlord wins. Tails, the landlord wins slightly more slowly. It is quite possibly the most weatherproof business model ever attached to a paper hat. And the numbers keep compounding, because the tenant base isn't just stable, it's captive. A McDonald's franchisee has typically invested well over $1 million in equipment and training. Walking away means losing all of it. The landlord's leverage isn't cruelty, it's just structure. And structure, it turns out, is the most durable advantage in business. So if the real estate machine is this good, an obvious question, why doesn't every restaurant chain do it? Some tried, most couldn't. The model demands two things almost no young company has: patient capital and ruthless site discipline. Buying property is brutally expensive. It nearly bankrupted McDonald's twice in the 50s. Franchise systems that grow fast do it precisely by not buying real estate, letting franchisees fund their own buildings. That's why Subway, with more locations than McDonald's at its peak, owns almost none of them, and why Subway franchisees churn while McDonald's operators wait years for a location. The real estate is the moat. It can't be disrupted by a better burger, a viral app, or a delivery startup, because the thing being monetized isn't food, it's geography. There are only so many perfect corners on Earth, and McDonald's bought them decades before its competitors were even founded. There's a lesson here about how to read any business. Ask, what does this company actually get paid for? Not what does it appear to sell. Amazon appears to sell products. Its profit engine is cloud computing. Starbucks appears to sell coffee. It quietly runs one of America's larger consumer banks through gift card float. And McDonald's appears to sell burgers, while operating what one analyst called the best located real estate trust in the world, wrapped in a restaurant. Once you learn to ask that question, quarterly reports stop being noise and start being detective stories. None of this makes the burgers irrelevant, by the way. And this is the elegant part. The food isn't a distraction from the real estate strategy. It is the real estate strategy. Great locations only stay valuable if something keeps drawing traffic to them. And a 70-year-old brand serving billions of customers a year is the most reliable traffic engine ever attached to a piece of land. The burgers make the corner valuable. The corner makes the rent inevitable. Each side feeds the other, and McDonald's owns both sides of the loop. That's why the company survived the fall of the American mall, the rise of food delivery, and every burger war since 1955. Competitors kept attacking the menu when the business was hiding in the deed. So the next time someone tells you McDonald's makes its money selling burgers, you'll know the real story. 95% of the restaurants, franchised, $10 billion a year in rent, nearly double the royalties. 84% margins on the landlord side, against 15% where the actual cooking happens. Harry Sonneborn's machine, still running, 70 years on. If this changed how you look at a company you thought you knew, there's a 60-second version of this story on the channel to share, and a whole series breaking down what companies like Amazon, Spotify, and Visa actually get paid for, because it's almost never what's on the menu. Subscribe, and next time, we'll follow another famous product back to the business hiding behind it.